In this training module, you will be taken through the operation of this Class 66 locomotive. During this brief introduction, you will be covering the critical driving controls and freight operations. When you're ready, climb aboard to get started. You need to insert the reverser first, and then you can move it forwards to set the direction of travel. Set the headlights to let others around us know this train is operational. The direct brake has 3 positions: apply, hold and release. They're directly affecting the brake cylinder pressure, shown on the left-hand side of the desk or on your HUD under the BC entry. While in the apply state, the brake cylinder or BC gauge will fill, meaning more and more brakes are being applied. Move the handle to the hold position to maintain the same level of braking, and back to the release position to reduce or completely release the brakes. The direct brake is used to apply the brakes only on your locomotive and are faster to apply and release than the main brakes. If you're only running as a light locomotive, as you are now, it's usually quicker to just use these brakes. Now the brakes on this train require us to hold the brake handle in the release position. You can monitor the state of the brakes using the larger brake pipe control gauge in the centre. Now keep the brake control in release until you can see the brake pipe control needles are reading 5 bar pointing upwards. This will release the brakes fully. Now that the brake pipe control is at 5 bar, the brakes will fully release. Watch the brake cylinder or BC gauge to see it gradually reduce to 0, which tells you that the brakes are now fully released and you can move the train. As you apply power, notice the amp bar rising. This is the amount of power being fed into the traction motors. But try to keep this out of the red, as it means you're overpowering the motors and could damage them. Coasting is a method used to officially maintain speed and reduce motor stress and maintenance requirements. In Ontario, Canada by EMD, the British Rail Class 66 is a 6-axle diesel-electric locomotive, used primarily for freight operations in the UK. Introduced in 1998, the initial order of 250 locomotives was said to be the biggest single order of a locomotive since the era of steam trains. More than 500 Class 66 locomotives were built, with the final one being delivered in 2016. The Class 66 has earned the nickname Shed because of its shed-like pitched roof. OK, come to a stop using the direct brake now. The freight wagons are behind us, so change direction with the reverser, then change the junction indicated, either by walking over to it or using the map. The junction is correctly aligned, so you can now couple up to the freight. Approach slowly and stop just before the buffers. Don't forget to release the direct brake before you apply power. You can couple and uncouple from either an external camera or on foot. So let's connect the formation using the external camera. Now couple the locomotive to the freight wagons. Return to the first person. Change direction with the reverser and move the train forward into the indicated siding. Remember, you can couple and uncouple from either an external camera or on foot. So let's uncouple from the wagons on foot this time. That concludes this training module.
Welcome to this BR Class 66 diesel-electric locomotive in EWS livery. This brief introduction will cover shunting wagons within a yard and manual operations of junctions. Climb aboard to get started. A lot of time will be spent in the driver's seat. Activate the auxiliary systems as indicated. The reverser is used to determine the direction of travel. We'll be coupling to the wagons ahead. The automatic brake is the main system used for slowing down the train. Use the throttle lever to apply a small amount of power. Avoid excessive power or there may be a collision. Reduce the power to 0 and allow the locomotive to coast. If you stop short, release the brake and apply power again. This locomotive is fitted with screw-link couplings. These require the driver to leave the cab and manually couple the vehicles. Climb down from the cab and attach the coupling between the vehicles. Reduce the power to 0 and allow the locomotive to coast. It's now time to run the locomotive around the train. Climb down and uncouple the wagons. Return to the driver's seat and reverse the train back to the runaround position. Junctions in this yard are manually operated. This means they require the lever next to them to be moved by hand. Climb down from the cab, walk over, to move around the wagons, set the direction of travel and apply power to get moving. Reduce the power. Climb down from the cab, walk over and operate the indicated manual junction lever. Climb down from the cab and attach the coupling between the vehicles. Good work. That concludes this introduction. More details on the operation of this locomotive can be found in the manual.
Class 66 diesel locomotive, nicknamed Shed because of how it looks. This locomotive used to haul aggregates up and down the Great Western Main Line. Today you're going to learn how to take control of this powerful freight locomotive, start it up, get it moving, and then bring it to a stop. Start by climbing aboard the locomotive. Take a look around, and when you're ready, have a seat in the driver's chair. the engine started. Set the engine run switch, generator field switch, and the control and fuel pump switch all to on. Here you go. Use the engine start button on the desk, then wait for the engine to get running and set the isolation switch to run. This locomotive uses the PBL braking system. Before we go anywhere, we need to run a quick brake test. First, hold the auto brake handle in the release position until the brake pipe control needle in front of you reaches 5. That means the brakes are completely released. The brakes now need charging, so a full application is needed. This time, hold the auto brake handle in the apply position. It looks as though the brakes are working as they should. All you need to do now is fully release the brakes again, so we can get moving. Time to get moving. Turn the headlights and marker lights on. Put the train in forwards so we're ready to get moving. Using the reverser, set the handle into forward. Now you need to release the last of the brakes, the parking brake. Nearly there. Now apply some power and get this train moving. Ease the throttle handle into null. I think this is fast enough for now. To maintain our current speed, set the throttle handle back to idle. Using the auto brake handle in the apply position again, get the brake pipe control needle in front of you to around 4 to apply a gentle application, and then let the brakes do the rest.